Captain's Log, December 26th, 2025. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you. You've made it to Friday. Now, I just said it's December 26th, 2025. However, this is pre-recorded. So, sorry I wasn't able to record it at that time, but leave a message at the jingle at the very end of this probably inordinately long message. It'll play sometime soon when I finish rambling. It'll play sometime. No, soon is no. It's not gonna play soon. You better get yourself some kind of festive drink, like hot chocolate with marshmallows. While you wait for the message to play. Now, you can, if I'm understanding this correctly, hit 1 to skip straight to the message, or the jingle, and then leave your message at the tone. I don't know if that works. I don't know. You can try it, I guess. Who knows? I'm just absentmindedly making a ridiculously long voicemail message, as it were. But yes, last show of the year. Wowza. Normally I do these long shows at the end of the month, but no, now it's the end of the year, so I hope it's a little longer. Hope I got a bit more to talk about, because it's not just how my week was, not just how my month was, it's how my year was, and what a year it has been, eh? So, I'm not quite sure where to begin. Why not? I didn't watch anything since recording the last one, because it's been like a few days, and I've been packing and pre-recording other videos, and while visiting, or while making preparations to visit family. But why not some simple anything happened? So, something did happen I didn't mention the last vlog, which was I got a gift card for my birthday, which was in November, and this is not a December. This I've just had this in my wallet for like a month, and I figured I'm out and about, why not use it? So, it's a gift card to Greg's, which is like Starbucks. And I decide what the hell, and I go in. And they have this, what is it? It was mint hot chocolate, was the specific thing I got. Mint hot chocolate and some pastry, because it's like a $10 gift card. And it wasn't that large, and it wasn't that sweet, but I don't know how people drink stuff like that every day. That was too much sugar. It was good, like it tasted really nice. I think the mint and the chocolate blended really well, because mint chocolate is like one of the best ice cream flavors. But, could not imagine having that more than once. Yeah. So sweet. The guy at the till was a little antsy. Like, there were not that many people in line. And the text on that menu was far too small and far too far away for me to be expected to read. And this isn't like Captain Vile needs glasses. No, I have very good vision. It's the stupid board they had was too small. I didn't, like, I just said the mint hot chocolate. I said, oh, I know what that is, yeah, but it had some name that I apparently got wrong. And whilst, like, paying for with the gift card, and grabbing it, like, I don't know, he was just annoying. Well, not annoying, but he was definitely antsy to get the line moving, despite the fact there were 2 other people in it, and there were 2 other cashiers there. It was like, I was at the 3rd till of free. So I don't know what he was all flutter about. Alright, my patronage, which I have never done before, like this gift card that I got for free and is essentially costing me nothing. It pays your salary, Buster. So that's 2 reasons I will not be returning to that establishment to get a immensely sugary caffeinated drink. It's because the drinks are way too sweet, and the employees are way too, like, adamant about you not standing for 5 seconds. Like, I was, okay, yeah, I was like, I grabbed my bag and grabbed the thing. I said, alright, have a nice day. And he, like, I don't know, brushed me aside. Not brushed me aside, but like, could you move, sir? He didn't say that, but he definitely meant it. Rude employee. It's not that rude. I'm mainly trying to pad out this talking point while thinking of others, because it's... Well, other things in the year. Let's see. I can't look over the titles of previous Captain's Log, so that I delete them every 10. So I've got... like, I've got the 50s, and my... yeah. Doesn't go back that far. Oh well. But I'm now in my 2nd year of, film school. Going into the middle of the 2nd year, by the end of Christmas break. Going into 2026, having lost another bet 3 years in a row. I've not won a single yearly bet. Except, it's been made clear to me by the violins that I should have won. Like, this has happened twice. There was a SpongeBob, like, the first yearly bet was I bet that SpongeBob's gonna get into Fortnite by 2023. And, like... then they had an event where SpongeBob was in, like, the map, and now they have sidekicks for characters who wouldn't be able to get a skin, where you can have them. And SpongeBob's one of the skins, or sidekicks you can get. So that's twice that he's been in Fortnite, a year after I made the bet. Like, he's in the game now. I should have won. But Family Guy's not been cancelled again, so I have no dice on that bet. And Bloodborne is not on Steam again, so same there. And then the 2027 bet, or the bet that'll 2027 deadline, the 2026 bet. What's that, Captain? You'll find out in 2026. That's weird to say, isn't it? I always feel like I don't remember what year it was, but I remember looking, like, thinking ahead at one New Year's and being like, man, it's gonna be 2020 one year. That's such a strange sounding year, but it's like, not anymore. Like, 2050 probably sounds a little odd of a year. Just like name-wise, but then you get there, and it's like, oh, no, that's just the year. Oh well. Another more channel stuff. Huge boost. When was this? October? I'll have to see. But yeah, no, we went from 7,000 or 700, not 1,000. You know, my. I don't understand. To check the. It's probably milestones. Forgive me. Just looking. Damn it, where was it? I would look in files, but like, damn, a while ago the files I used, the Captain Vile folder was deleted. Just randomly, I don't know why. I think I accidentally moved it to the trash and then emptied the trash without realizing it. But YouTube has this annoying thing with playlists, where it sorts by the last one added. I always have it like, I like having it sort by last video added. I was checking there. There we go. Channel playlists, or channel milestones. So 5 months ago. Alright. Nifty. But 5 months ago, there was like a 300 boost in subs. Just over the course of maybe a week, we went from 739 to 1,000 and some change. And now we're sitting pretty at 1,080. Not at 1,852. Not just yet. But that was quite interesting. I think that was maybe someone with, like, bots. I don't know. It wasn't me. No. I wouldn't lie like that. But, like, how? I don't know, because I can't see who did it. I can somewhat see public subscribers. If you're publicly subscribed to me, I can check that. In my, like, subscriber list. But I never got a chance to see any of that, so I think that might have had some foul play at hand. But hey, it benefits me, so I'm not going to complain. That's how I won the bet. Like, I didn't win the yearly bet, but I won the bet with Simmy, and that's pretty nifty. He's got to admit that I'm the better YouTuber, which I am. What was the other bet I didn't win? Oh, right, yeah, no, I'm in debt to my audience now. That happened maybe 7 months ago? So that's been fun, all of you guys making me do bets in order to get Minecraft story mode. I've had 2 leads, 1 lead dried up, the other I will have to ask Jason again. Because he said he has it, and he said it works, but he's not sent it yet. I'll have to ask him. A little annoying. A little annoying. Oh well, how long am I going to be in this debt? I'm not doing any... Like, oh, it's the new year and you still haven't played it, Captain. Add 5 points of interest. No. We're treating this like any other month. Those bets started... Let's check again. I think it was, again, 7 months ago. I have a terrible habit of closing the window I no longer need. Oh wait, look at this. 0.9. So we're no longer at 180, we're at 190. Isn't that fun? 6 months ago. So not 6 months, 7 months. But it's probably gonna be 7 months going into January. But yeah, no, we've been doing that for a while. Maybe once it's the year anniversary of not playing Minecraft Story Mode, I'll do like a special. I certainly am going to do a special when, like, in addition to the Gotham episode, I'll do like an awards show where it's like, you had a pretty good bet, your bet sucks. You kept going in every month and taking all the, like, the bet list penalties. That'll be fun. Some gimmick accounts occurred. Golden God's Luminescent Splendor, specifically. Who was championing me to finish the animation, which I did. Then I've still got to finish the New Year's animation at time of recording. I'd say I'm like halfway through. Again, at time of recording. I'm not going to tell you what that is, though. But I'll do that. Then, probably we're going to work on Diamond Eye and Kevin's trip to Las Vegas animation. That's what the name is, specifically, if you were wondering. I was on gimmick accounts. Oh, yes! The Captain's Credits Cataloger. He's an interesting one. So it's similar to what Violin named Honeybun is doing in Resident Evil 4, along with the Hollow Knight speedrun bet, where they do timestamps. So far it's only been on Altars and another game that I forgot we played. But he's going through, like, the entirety... Oh, Altars and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And I assume He's not gone back on any at the moment, or they, I don't know. If I don't know someone, I just kind of like... On the internet, that's an odd thing, an odd habit of just assuming someone's a guy on the internet. Oh well. Doubt they'll go through every single series, because there's a bunch of them. And some of them we didn't even finish, I like to cut it, so I don't know what they're going to do for the ending of that, since there's no credits to be found there. But they're interesting. A little sarcastic in their review sometimes. I've noticed some snarky lines. They're just saying the story as it, or saying the video series as it happened, but their tone could be a little more generous. Oh well. Anyway, as for the beginning of the year, I don't think too much happened. I'm focusing on like the latter half, but the beginning, I don't know. Here, why don't I open up my YouTube channel again and not close it out this time, because it seems like I'm using it a lot more. A lot of evidence is being done here. So let's scroll through all the way down to the beginning. 5 months. Almost there, everyone. Don't worry. Oh my god, I played Sonic Forces. I forgot about that. I completely forgot that happened. Alright, I think we are now... Yeah, no, this is... Dredge, Ace Attorney. I held a funeral for Suicide Squad? I completely forgot I did that. Wow. So we've hit 70... We hit 750 about this beginning of the year. Then I did the questionnaire. Then I made the infamous Minecraft movie bet, which I lost and was unable to hold up my end of the deal. Then now we're in the... Weren't you supposed to say Minecraft story mode? Yeah, then I made that bendy video. I still am annoyed by that. I don't think I've received any comments on it since, but I'm still annoyed by the most popular video I've made being about Bendy. That's irritating. Oh yes, I revealed I'm Dying Kevin during the Cuphead boss fight. Mega Stakes, and that's about it. Bunch of songs. Interesting, interesting. But as for Christmas, well, since, I mean, it's Boxing Day for you all, but I always struggle at Christmas and my birthday, because I have no idea what the hell I want. I'm not someone who wants a lot of stuff. Just, I don't know, I always find it difficult to make lists of gifts, or possible, excuse me, gifts. So I'm like pulling teeth to buy for. So I always just give like, sure, I don't know, costumes or submarine models or mystery novels or something, which I'll enjoy the gifts, no doubt. But it's, I didn't put much thought into the request. It's, I don't know. I enjoy like getting gifts, but it's just I don't really want much. I always appreciate being gifted things, and I'll like go out of my way to gift others, but me specifically, I always have trouble wanting stuff. Unless I don't know. Again, odd. Look into that, I suppose. I'm tempted to tell a story. I wonder how long... I've wanted to do one of these where the whole episode was a story, and I've kind of done that already, because there was one a while ago where I explained a dream I had that I didn't intend, but it became the entire video. It was like I was a pirate captain and my ship got impounded, so I went to the ship impound lot, which had like Olympic-sized swimming pools with boats in them. And I had to like call a helicopter to get my ship out of the pool. That was a fun dream. I really liked the impound lot because it was just this mega structure it was just mega structure that was just pools. The whole thing was pool tiles. I distinctly remember the visual of barely illuminated spots of tiles and then just this abyss around it that there was no end to. Infinitely high, infinitely wide pools. Or I guess walkways above pools. It was quite... I ought to draw that. It was fun. But I mean an impromptu story, like the hunter and his wife story. I think I also did another one about a mining town, I think. I don't remember what it was about specifically. Again, it's impromptu. But I've wanted to do one of these where it's just like a huge session where I'm like, and then the wizard said, "Oh, you mean these keys? The keys to the warp a ship? It's sci-fi fantasy." One of those where I have no idea where the story's going and what happens. I'll do. I don't know if I want to do too long a story. I'll do a little bit more introspection, and then I'll get into the story. Here, you can use this as a marker. Once I get to the story, like once we're done with the he's doing the bit where he talks about how crazy it is that he talks to himself for long periods of time, or how crazy weird he's good at it. Then you're like, okay, now he's into the story, and I can go refill my hot chocolate or something. If you're still waiting on leaving a voice message at the jingle, that's gonna be a running theme throughout this recording. All right, the end is ahead. Don't worry if you have an important message. Now, I don't often listen to podcasts, I have to say. I listen to a lot of video essays whilst animating, and sometimes while grinding in video games if I've got the spare time to do that. But I typically video essays. I say video essays. Most of them are like movie reviews that are like inordinately long. I watched this... Was it 3.5 hours? This 3.5 hour takedown of Ridley Scott's Napoleon. That was interesting. I quite liked that. But I did that in one sitting. But video essays themselves, not that often. Or not often very, very long ones. No, like 20 or so minutes. Like, one that really jumps to mind as being like an essay is the Def's favorite game, Russian Roulette. That was an interesting video that had a story accompanying it that you could read. So I don't really know, because that's all scripted. This, as you may have guessed, is not. And podcasts, I don't believe, are scripted. I mean, maybe they have like a set, like, okay, we gotta mention this, and we gotta mention that. But, no. I don't believe they just genuinely invite someone over and start talking. But, I don't know. Sometimes I see clips of, like, clips as in like 20 minutes. There's one where it's a podcast with like multiple guests, but one decided not to show up, one is late, and then the main guy just rambles to himself and repeatedly mentions how he's kind of out of his element and how, similar to what I'm doing, I wonder who else just rambles to themselves. So who else does do that? I'm not sure. I wonder if it's I'd probably be really good at a filibuster by now, because I can just talk. And part of it is I can kind of improv kind of quickly, and some of it is like I just like how my own voice sounds, so I talk and keep talking because I can hear my own voice if I just drag the sentence out even longer than it needs to be. But anyone, I can see the insult being, oh, he's in love with the sound of his own voice, of someone who just prattles on endlessly, which I am doing. But, like, hey man, plenty of people do not like how they sound. I keep thinking of Frasier and Seinfeld, where one guy is like, oh, I got my neighbor to record my voicemail because I hate how I sound, but I hate how my neighbor sounds too, for Frasier. And then George being like, oh, I can't listen to this audio book. The guy sounds like me. For the reading for the blind. What was it? Risk management? Yes, risk management. And then Ovaltine. You ever hear this stuff? Why do they call it Ovaltine? The case is round, the glass is round, whatever. For just that's my protege. Oh, I'm just reciting an episode of Seinfeld at this point. This isn't an impromptu story, and this is not an introspective look at what the hell I'm doing here, as in like talking. This is just Captain Vile recites inane banter. But I could probably do a filibuster, which I've somewhat done. So my brother and I would often have these kind of standoffs, because we shared a room from ages, I think it was maybe on and off in the beginning, and then 7 to 17. But I think I've spent a grand total of my life living in the same room with my brother for about 13 years. But we've gotten decently acquainted in those 13 years, and we've often got on each other's nerves. His method to annoy me was listening to stuff without headphones, or being in my general area while I was trying to work, like standing near me while I was like animating, and it bugged me. What I would do is talk. I would filibuster. I would grab a book and I would read it aloud to him. And I would say, I'm just reading, Xander. Like, whatever. Where's the... Alright, I gotta put a note up. Oi, not everyone wants to be publicly known. But my mother, I will not... Again, I'm not like an... Because my mother's decently active on social media. If you know her, you know me. And if you follow her social media, she'll talk about, like, as most mothers on social media do, her children. So, that's my feeble defense. But, here, I'll write a note. Not... Oh, that's... whatever. I can do this. Well, no. Why not? Why not pad the time? No. But I would read, and I think the record was a few hundred pages. No, not a few hundred pages. It was maybe 128 pages before he got fed up and got our mother involved to get me to stop. And she was like she commended my creativity because I'm a genius and he's not. And I'm cool, and he drools, and sibling rivalry this, and sibling rivalry that. Just writing the note. I wonder if you can hear that. Does that pick up? Probably covered by the ocean noise I play. But yes, that's a skill. Improv and filibustering. And maybe, I don't know, not lung development. I'm not singing here. I'm just talking for a long time. I did kind of go into choir in like elementary school, but I didn't... Hang on. To get a sip of water. So, this was late elementary or early... This was middle school. We were... the choir was holding this kind of system where if you joined the choir, you would go to Six Flags, some amusement park at the end of the year. And I wanted to go in the haunted house and ride the roller coasters. Because amusement parks are cool. So I joined choir, and for, like, I don't know how long. But I did not enjoy it. Mainly I didn't enjoy the other singers. They had this tedious way of singing, where they would, like, make themselves sound really sad, and they thought that made them sound better at singing. It did not, it just made them sound sad, which was annoying to hear. But anyway, they all did that stupid thing. So I quit choir, to the annoyment of the teacher, but whatever. Annoyment? No, whatever. It annoyed the teacher, because a couple other people quit choir, because no one seemed to enjoy it. People only did it for the amusement park trip at the end of the year. But I said, this is not worth it. Alright, but you did some lung exercises to hold notes, and I was always pretty good at it, because how long can I hold a note? Like 40 seconds? Or, it's either 40... I think it's 42 seconds is how long I can hold it. I'm not going to test it here just now. I'm not that desperate to pad the end of the year show. But a decent bit. But anyway, that's the one of two times in which I've joined something purely for the reward at the end, or joined something school-wise. The other time was a summer camp, where, get this, the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were, was a marshmallow. If you went to the camp, it was like a week, I think. But the whole reason I went was because they said, oh, we have a s'more party at the very end for all the campers. And I went with my father. And the campground, I think this was also in middle school. Maybe. It's some middle, yeah, it was definitely middle school. And I think choir was elementary school. It was definitely in Texas, though. Anywho. The counselors had started this rumor, because it was, every camp's got their, like, hook-handed man story. But they had this story where this woman drowned in the lake or something. And the way to this woman, like, I'm pretty sure they ripped this off of like, Mexican folklore. Because there is a story about a woman who, like, drowned her kids and starts looking for other people's kids to drown. And it's like, oh, don't stay out late, or something will get you and drown you in the river. Anywho, they basically did that story. Oh, if you'll hear crying out by the lake at night, and if she'll come into your cabin, and if there's not a rock under your pillow, she'll grab you and drown you. So most people, myself included, slept with a rock under our pillow for like a week, which really hurt my neck because it's a rock, and the pillows weren't very good. But I went through all that for my marshmallow at the end. And they were these weird off-brand, like, cube marshmallow, not cylindrical. They were like a cube. It was like a peep, where it had this, like, sugar salt coat on it. And I think I remember it being pink. But anywho, they had, like, a huge pyramid of those on a table. And they're like, alright, everybody grab one marshmallow, and then you roast it on the fire. So we all did that, and there were still... There were maybe, I think, 30 kids at the camp. And they had, I'll say, 60 marshmallows. They had more marshmallows than kids is the point, and there weren't that many kids there. So we easily could have had another one. I, in fact, tried to go get another one, but the counters were like, no, 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 no. It's just one. And it's like, oh, sorry, you're going to feed those to the birds or something? Are you going to have them? Greedy? Well, I'm the one greedy, but, like, it was a ripoff. That was my time. And my father's time. But I was a kid. I was like, I wasted a whole thing for this stupid one marshmallow. I don't think it cost any money for us to go. I think it was just like a sign-up thing. Maybe it did cost money. I hope it didn't. Because, like, I could have just asked my parents, hey, can we buy marshmallows? But no, it was like, oh, it's a free marshmallow. But it's not a free marshmallow because it's the time investment to get the marshmallow. I gotta earn my marshmallow by going to this stupid camp and participating in, like, the nightly trials. One of them was, like, close your eyes and, like, they had a blind hike through the forest. And then there was these stakes with twine in them that was, like, your guide. So you'd hold on to it. And one kid, like, fell off a rock and hurt himself. Because it's a blind march or whatever. And another day, this was a Thursday, I don't know why I remember that, but we, like, canoed out to this big canyon. These cliffs out in the middle of the lake. And this guy told us a story about two idiots who had, like, during, I don't know, the 1800s or something, or early 1900s, they had, like, encountered the, like, tribe who lived way back when, where the camp was, and they had, like, stolen something from the tribe, so they died. They were, like, hunted and killed, but one of the idiot's dying words was, don't give them the thing back. After one of the, like, members of the tribe had said, hey, if you just give us what you stole back, we'll leave you alone. But he, covered in blood, grabbed his friend by the collar and was like, don't do it, and then died. And then his friend died because he was like, well, now I have to not give it back. My friend's dead, and that's his dying request. And he told that story to us. And we were, like, 11. And it's not that gruesome of a tale, but he went into a lot of detail about how they, like, he bled out and his arrows sticking out of him. Which you can tell kids violent stories. I think that's fine. I think kids' movies should have a bit more gruesome elements into them, so it really hammers home the lesson, which there should be. Like, people joke about, like, fairy tales being, like, I've said like way too many times. People joke about fairy tales being full of children being murdered by, like, monsters because they lied to their parents. But it hammers the message home, don't lie to your parents, you little rat. Like, if little Billy steals gold coins from the family leather bag to go buy candy, and then they can't afford, they're like a coin short to buy boar or something, and they go hungry for the night and have to eat, like, a crappy meal because Billy had a lollipop. And they ask, Billy, do you know where the gold went? And he, like, puts his little hands up and is like, I don't know. And then they find the lollipop stick, and they're like, they shake their finger at him. Billy's gonna get off scot-free. Billy's gonna pay for that lollipop with shame. Like, I paid for candy with shame a while back. But that's a story in and of itself. Anyway. No, what should happen in the fairy tale is the lollipop vendor overhears this and is like, alright, Billy, come with me. And then he clubs Billy over the head with a rock, and then he, like, drains Billy's blood and freezes that, and then sells and it turns out, oh, it was, he bought a blood popsicle, and now he is a blood popsicle. That's how you'd get the message home of you don't steal and lie from your parents. You gotta have gruesome elements to your story if you're gonna tell them to kids. Which brings me to our story. Should it be a fairy tale, since I've just kind of gone over one? No, I want to tell something to do with science fiction. Yes. Now, allow me a moment as I drink some water, and I'll set the scene. It was the year V11. Now, long ago, so much time had passed that it became inefficient to keep score of what year it was through just numbers. So, letters were added. And it would go, it was the year A, then B, then C, and so forward, until Z, and then it would become the year A2. And now we're on V11, so that gives you an idea on how long this system has been in place. This system was put in place by Reginald Stonewall. His family was in charge of of keeping track of all of this. Damn it! It's more interesting to, No. I've realized it's more interesting to do a kind of Y2K style catastrophe, and then they come up with the letter system. But I'm already in this is after the letter system. Whatever. The story will continue. We're Reginald Stonewall. His family was the one who came up with the letter year system, and he was the latest in the generation of keeping track of this year. But Reginald was kind of pissed off at this fact. He's born, and his sole purpose in life is to write down what year it is. Are you kidding me? I gotta reprogram all the automatic systems in the world, in the universe. You know what travel time is like? Alright, yeah, we can travel light years like that, but I gotta travel, so many light years. I go from type. It's a pain in the neck, man. It's a tedious, repetitive process. Can't we automate this system? And they're like, no, Reginald, no, we can't, because then we'd have to automate a system to automate that system, because it would be we'd have to punch in all the years into that one, and it's more efficient to just punch in the current year instead of having to punch in every single year to avoid another Y2K scenario and have another year system. So you are going to stick to your damn spacecraft and universal keyboard that you plug into every electronic device and change the year to. Alright? So Reginald's kind of pissed off at his parents and governing officials who kind of just throw their hands up and well, it's your clan, your family business. You're in charge of the dates. The black boxes, the black box clan, head of that family. Everyone's family is a clan who's in charge of some aspect of the universe. They're in charge of fueling rockets. You're in charge of making sure the rockets have the correct year for the automated system. So it's this delivery has to be done by this, and it's well, we can't follow through with the delivery because that year passed. So, no. So he gets pissed off and takes his universal keyboard. And he's like, you know what? Fine. I'll type in the year. And he does that. He goes into a delivery. Or the black boxes, who are in charge of all the rockets in the universe, are like, oh, hello, Mary Black Box, who is current head of the Black Box clan, who is, again, all rockets in the universe. So, hello, Reginald. Yes, the latest rocket is over there. It's set to deliver very vital resources very vital. Like, yes, I know, Mary. I've punched in many a year for many an important delivery, and I intend to do that just now. So Reginald plugs it in and types the year. It's a regular keyboard, and because it has alphabet and numbers, he just types in THE space YERE or YEAR, the year, and hits enter. And the ship doesn't like that. It does not know what to do. It wasn't programmed for this. So it freaks out, and the thrusters activate way faster than they were meant to, and it goes trillions of light years away. And Mary looks over at Reggie and is like, "The hell was that, Reggie? The very vital resources, which are again vital and very delicate, just shot off way in that direction. Way in. It's in another universe now, Reggie." "Well, yeah. Tough. It's my job to type in the year to everything," and then he plugs into the door and is like, "Oh, this door is set to unlock at like this time to stop the workers from leaving from loading. Well, now it's the year." And then the door breaks, and Reggie and Mary and all the other workers in the loading bay are just trapped in the damn loading bay now. So everyone's kind of pissed at him, even more so than Mary, because like the workers, it was like the last delivery of the day, and this jackass who thinks he's got a short end of the stick when people are like he's got a damn email job, and everyone's trying to load boxes into spaceships, comes in and makes it their problem. But anyway, one of the workers comes up and is like, "Reggie, do you know what we were loading into that damn spaceship?" And he's like, "Oh, very, very vital resources." Yeah, those were bombs, Reggie. Vital resources for the war effort." You're like, "What?" "Yeah, Reggie, if you didn't know because you were too busy complaining about having to type in the year, we're at war again. There's a civil war that's broken out. And apparently you didn't know about that because, again, you just show up in your little light traveling car and then you leave and complain that that's apparently a awful job. Well, you just sent all the bombs way over that way. We don't even know who, like, we don't know how far the rocket's going. And then an ear-shattering can be heard in the distance, mind you, light years away. This was all the explosives that the civilization had constructed. This is like sextillion, like, tons of explosives, or a sextillion, like, force of explosives has just gone off in this side of the universe. That universe does not exist anymore. There's a blinding light, and then the door is opened by the shockwave, so I guess it kind of works out for everyone in there. But Reggie just kind of committed omnicide. You know why? Because he didn't realize his problems weren't actually that important. He just focused on his problems and then made it everyone else's problem, and then realized, oh, there's a war going on. So that's why it's important not to just show up place to place. You should try and, I don't know, talk to Mary and the other workers at the warehouse of the rockets, and talk to Gary, who is in charge of all the agriculture and every whatnot. So yeah, you're turning on the automatic watering system. Why not ask what it's watering? Reggie? Then you wouldn't have committed omnicide. Or partial. He destroyed an entire... Omnicide is every living creature, so I guess that's just... He's got... no, he killed like half. So that's attempted homicide. On Reggie's part. Just because the guy didn't know that there was a war going on. He should have asked what they were loading into the boxes, instead of just being, oh, it's important, is it? Oh well. So that's the story done. Definitely improv. I kind of realized where I want to go is like the message, like at the very end, and just follow through. That's fun. I'm not that much for sci-fi. It's interesting because you can do a lot with it, but I don't know. I do enjoy robots though. I think those are fun. Those are fun to design though. It's not really like, and they can be used in interesting ways in a story. But I really like designing one. Every time I design a robot, I tend to give it the same, it's like slim, it's slim humanoid with 6 fingers total. Because it's got like 2 claws and a thumb. I should really branch out to other designs. I wanted this to be a bit of a longer show, but it is somewhat petering out, which is a shame. I could talk about, again, going back to New Year's. Instead of just a story. Any resolutions? Anything I want to do in 2026? I would like to definitely finish Time Bank Kevin's animation in a reasonable time. No lengthy breaks from making it, like with Golden Gods animation. I would like to be out of debt to my audience in, well, hold on a second. So, I lost the bet. I'll admit that. I lost the Bloodborne bet. Which means I gotta play Subnautica Below Zero. But there's no opening in the time slot. Like, Arkham Origins, we're pretty close to the end, but we still gotta... I reckon there's maybe 6 episodes left? Maybe. But we still have to get through it. Same with Resident Evil 4, and the Golden God animation goes up when a specific game goes up. So it's tied to a playthrough. So basically, I don't know if I'll be able to play Subnautica Below Zero immediately in 2026. So that is another owed playthrough. So that's more debt. I'm gonna be going into 2026 in double debt to my audience. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my. Okay. What the hell do I do now? What do I do for that? I'm already taking bets. Oh my god. I'll think of something. I gotta... Oh, great. Okay, so... I'd like to get out of double debt to my audience, then I'd like to get out of regular debt to my audience. I'd also like... like to get 500 more subscribers before 2027. Get to 1,500, get to that milestone. I mean, it'd be cool if I got like 2,000, especially because then I would have hit 1,852. Because that's the magic number of the channel, apparently. So that's nifty. See if I can get to that. I would like to make more video essays. I had some planned, but they fell through. Yeah. Maybe some comics as well. No, that's a little much. That's a little much. I mean, I got like a year's a lot of time to get stuff done. But I got a lot to get done. I got bets, I got specials, I got animations. and here. You know what? I also like easier thing to do. Finish the banner. I changed the profile picture of the channel. Now it's my somewhat sinister smiling face. We gotta change the banner too. That's gonna be a bunch of channel characters, so like D, Golden God, Upname, all that jazz. And some others. So I guess that'll go up when Golden God's animation goes up, because there's a new channel character in that. No spoilers as to what it is, but not Upname, Golden God originated through sheer happenstance. Several, like, coincidences aligned for him to be made. And one of those coincidences was watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia while playing Hero Lost Hero of Nassau Gaia. So, this channel character, who is very intertwined with Golden God, is a similar kind of... Well, what's a character? Or what's a show I'm watching? He's in name and design alone. It's not this character, just like Golden God is not Dennis Reynolds. He's just based off of him in some way. This character is akin to that in... It's the name... He's the main character, so I can't give you the show. But you'll see when it comes out in, I don't know, like a week. Kind of annoying that the Golden God animation doesn't go out the year it was finished. It goes out 2026. Sorry for the long wait, but hey, it's done. And then New Year's, and then Diamond Eye and Kevin. Anything else I want to do, channel wise? Just thinking now. I don't think so. Struggling to think of any of them. I don't like thinking out loud about ideas I have for the channel, because what if I change them heavily, or what if I just scrap them entirely? Like, I have an idea for, hell, I'll just say it, like, it's not an ARG, analog horror. I have two ideas for an analog horror. One of them is more akin to an ARG. But I could change what they are. Or change things about them that I don't want to get into. Because they'd be vastly different. Oh well. But my resolution, I guess... I definitely want to make more stuff. I also want to do... I really enjoy doing Captain's commentary for the old New Year's animation. And I'll do one for this, and Golden Gods, and every other animation. But I've got some... And I guess, yeah, short films. Because I'd consider the Gotham episode I had to act out a short film. That's 40 minutes of, like, myself acting out a thing, and then a bunch of other stuff that you guys have added to. So, oh well. Oh, here's another thing. How do I present this stuff? Because I've looked into it. So, I don't know how I feel about premieres, but I do enjoy... Like, it'd be cool having, like, a live chat of violence commenting on something as it occurs. I think that'd be nifty. So I'll probably do that for, like, animations and whatnot. I don't know if I'll be in the chat being like, oh, hey guys, check out this next moment, being very cheeky. That's, like, right before, like, a character death. So just say, hey guys, I'm back, did something happen? Oh my god! But I might do that for, yeah. I'm not gonna do that for, what's it, New Year's animation. Because that's small enough. Like, it's for New Year's, but it's definitely smaller than Golden God's animation. Which is, like, 11 minutes long. When the New Year's is probably gonna be maybe 5. Or maybe less than that, actually. I gotta put the dialogue in. I gotta record the dialogue, but... it's definitely not as long. I'll say that much. I did want this to be longer. But I am drawing a blank. And I gotta get ready. Well, I am ready now to visit family. All packed, just nervous about missing the train. I hate traveling. I don't hate visiting, but I hate traveling. I'm always nervous about missing my trains. And being in, like, London. I hate London. London is awful. It smells terrible. I don't know what it is. Probably all those cigarettes. But What a sour note to end on. I got another story? Another improv story? No. Certainly nothing is with so much to juggle as the the sci-fi story. I kind of want to maybe another story, an art gallery. Yeah. I went too much in on exposition last time. We'll change that. We'll just... There was an art gallery owner. Now, the art gallery owner kind of hated all the works in his art gallery. You see, he operated under a similar philosophy of those who can't do teach. But, I mean, he couldn't even teach art. He loved creating, but he was awful at it. Like, he could never hold a brush properly. It looked all sloppy. Everyone always... like, no critic would view them, because they wouldn't deem whatever he made worth viewing. And he certainly couldn't teach anyone how to do it. It could only be used as an example of what not to do while making art. So, instead, he went into the art gallery business and displaying other people's creations. Just wanting to have some tie to the medium he loved. But, again, that proved to be a bad idea, because, again, he hated everything in the gallery. Because it was a constant reminder of, oh, look at these good paintings. Oh, look at these nice statues. He'd walk through the halls every day and look at the crowds of people gawking at the skillful displays. The light touches, the brush strokes, the ever-so-sensitive chisel work on statues and paintings, and he'd seethe quietly. He'd wish for a break-in. He would purposely cheap out on security and, like CCTV. It didn't have any CCTV. He would loathe to look at the footage, loathe to see all through the day how many people had entered his store. He didn't even keep track of ticket sales. He had someone else do that for him. All he knew is that he was profitable, and he hated that. He wished for a break-in. He wished someone would come in and steal the paintings that were so much better than his. He wished for some environmentalist movement to cause a scene and throw tomato soup at some artwork, ruining the brushstrokes. In fact, he considered paying someone to do it, but that fell through. So instead, he just walked through the halls, was rude to guests, trying to get them to leave. Until one day, there was a painting no one looked at. It was empty. Dozens crowded around different pieces, except this one. There was a visible void in the floor. It's kind of getting away from me now, but if the people were a sea, there would be a visible lack of water in one area. This one painting was apparently unliked by the masses, and the gallery owner walked over to it. Man, didn't seem anything out of the ordinary. It was just a painting of a crowd. It was boring, frankly. So he assumed it was just... no one's interested in what it was about. But he looked a little closer, and it was impressive brushstrokes. The people looked so lifelike. And he went over to it, and then was snatched up by the by the painting, and now the gallery owner's in there. Yeah, the art that eats who views it monster. Kind of cliche. I did enjoy the setup though. The art gallery owner. Man, I should reuse that for something else. I like that idea. An art gallery owner who's so terrible at making art he can't even teach it, and he can't even no one reviews it, so he just grows more and more upset with his profit. That's interesting. I should have gone down a different route than yeah, no, just art that kills whoever sees it and makes it part of the art. That itself is an interesting idea, but my kind of laissez-faire. Oh yeah, no, he's dead. I kind of lost confidence in the story at the last portion, which kind of taints the beginning, because now it's like, oh well, this is just gonna end with him brushing off what the most important part of the story. Damn, I've ruined another one. Too scatterbrained a plot, and then too honed in, and then it became scatterbrained. Whatever. This is important for storytelling. But hey, this is improv. I think that's decent right off the top. Oh well. We're at an hour and 6.5 minutes or so. Some change. I think that is the longest captain's log. I will have to check. I believe. One moment. Playlists. Also, excuse me for the confounded thing. Will you just let me scroll? There we are. 101. 24. So this is in fact the longest captain's log ever, by a few minutes, mainly because of that little art gallery story. That was a bit repetitive in the brushstrokes and the structures and whatever. Again, improv, so whatever. I do believe that is everything. Yeah, I did enjoy it. Maybe not the best end of the year show, but hey, whatever. What was important is that I enjoyed it, and it gave you something to listen to while you structured that message. So sorry for the long tangent. Anyway, just leave your messages at the jingle. So thank you for watching. Happy New Year and good file.